celebrating 17 years of Young Turks.
Welcome back. You're watching Young Turks. I have with me a Singapore startup pioneer, founder of Asia's leading cloud company, Deskera, Shashank Dixit. Many thanks for joining us on Young Turks. Now, you know, from sleeping at Changi Airport to today becoming a multi-million entrepreneur, yours is like a typical rags to riches story. When and how did you spot the big opportunity?
I started out in IIT in Kanpur, and then I went eastward to Singapore. So I just started out on a whim, and I thought I would sell accounting software for SMEs because I saw that as a problem for SMEs in India.
And this started as a college project at IIT?
It did, yes, IIT Kanpur.
So why choose Singapore, you know? Why not start in India?
What I saw in Singapore in East Asia is a supply chain being formed. And at that time, I was learning about SMEs and the ecosystem. And I was fortunate enough to be in that part which was booming. So if you look at China, the supply chain extends to Singapore, extends to South Korea, Japan, and then westwards to US and Europe. And you know, if you look at any good, any white good in your home, you look at a car, the supply chain is very deep. You know, 50, 60 SMEs produce you know, a single good and then extend that good towards a big company, big corporation. I thought I could learn that supply chain understanding and bring that to India, and that got me a very good experience in Singapore.
Take us through your cloud-based suite of products. Take us through the products that you have.
We have one suite that lets you run all the business processes in a typical SME. So you start your day with your payroll, start your day with your attendance and then leave and employees, and you end your day with your customers, your profit and loss, your balance sheet. That's your finance and accounts. So from HR to accounts, from projects to sales, we do the whole gambit. We run the whole process for you, and you get all of it on the cloud for a minimal fee. And the idea is, again, it's very simple to use, very easy to use.
And you have a mobile app as well, right?
Yes, yes. So use your mobile app, use your mobile phone to run the whole business. One software that does the whole end-to-end. So in terms of, if you look at payroll, typically payroll for a small SME is either outsourced or they do it themselves.
Correct,
but it basically takes a few days, in some cases a week, to get all the payroll stuff sorted out. Now the biggest part of payroll is basically compliance. So you're getting a PPF, your various taxes, insurance paid out. These are challenges where SME has to actually write a check or has to get a payment sorted out. We do that out of the box. So what would usually take a day or two takes like 5 minutes. So in terms of efficiency, this is like 90% efficiency in terms of process improvement. And not only that, but this process is also fail-proof. So once you use a software, this software takes care of your rules and processes in a way where you don't have to worry about or second guess the software. So it also does the job of accuracy. And I think when you scale up and SME hires more people, the challenges of managing a bigger team becomes exponentially difficult. So this software can then scale to your team as and when you scale up.
All right, so let's talk about your other product, the Desk that you launched last year. Take us through the product. Again, what are its specifics?
So Desk is the front end for SME to sell globally.
And it's essentially a B2B marketplace sort of space for SMEs, right?
Yes, except in our case, we have a very good insight of your inventory. We have a very good insight of what your products are as an SME, and we know how much a product sells at for you. So we can give you a very well-crafted storefront, a marketplace that is much more in sync with data. For instance, if you go to a B2B marketplace and you're a small SME and you just set up your shop, you may have 20 products to sell, but you get orders for 25. You can't fulfill that. For our marketplace, we will sync that with the inventory. So if you have 20 to sell, we'll price it in a way where your first 10 are sold at a nice price and the last 10 are sold at a higher price or premium, so you make more money out of it. And also you can manage your inventory in real time.
Now take me through the revenue model. How are you making money? What's the business model like?
One fee per month. So in Singapore, it's less than $1,000 or less than $50 per employee. $1,000 if you're a largish company. In India, it's 500 rupees per employee per month. all in. You get all the features. You get the storefront, you get the backend, you get the ERP, you get the GST submission software, you get the CRM, all of it for 500 rupees per month.
Your revenue has grown, almost 8 folds in the last 4 years. Deskera today is a $100 million company. You've raised $60 million. Tell us where does the funding go? What are the plans with the money?
So we've raised money recently.
Yeah.
We're going to announce another round very soon that we have closed recently as well.
How much is that for?
We're going to come up with a number in the media very soon.
Okay.
Investment will basically go to reach out to that SME base, reach out to the last SME, connect them to the global supply chain, and help them grow, and then in the process grow ourselves.
Take me through the future plans, and specifically more of India plans. What are the India plans that you have right now?
We are very excited about India. It started in India.
Yes.
And getting SMEs on board is a personal mission of mine. So we are present in Southeast Asia and India, and we have about 50,000 SMEs on board.
Okay.
Our goal is to get to 1 million SMEs soon.
Yeah.
And I think in terms of breakup, our business is roughly split half and half. So half would be Southeast Asia.
Okay.
And again, when I say Southeast Asia, we're looking at Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia. We're looking at Philippines, Vietnam. They're all good trading partners of India. In fact, Singapore is one of the biggest trading partners of India. We don't have to look extreme west or extreme east. We can within this region of what I call as 4-hour flight. We have 3 billion people, and we have a great market in both India and Southeast Asia. And you can work together. That'll be amazing for both these regions.
Yeah, you spoke about the future plans. Any new products in the pipeline that you plan to add?
I think what is exciting now is obviously AI. And I've been spending a lot of time with my team on these ideas.
Okay. So how soon do we expect something like this to happen at Deskera?
I think we have the proof of concept,
Okay.
but we are in a stage where SMEs don't even have basic technology platform.
Yeah.
So once they get there, this is right up our alley. This is something that we are very excited about. So this is something that we'll roll out as soon as our market starts getting more mature, and I think it's just a matter of time.
All right, you've made your investors quite happy. They've had all nice things to say about Deskera. Do you think you're going to be the next tech unicorn?
The good news is the answer is obviously yes. For a scale, for a company of our scale, that's a very obvious milestone.
Okay.
The only thing is that B2B historically has been it has a very smooth curve. It has a different curve. Consumer is where you get a lot of excitement, a lot of high and ups and downs. B2B is very stable and it takes a long time to build a company. So, the company that I admire, of course, is Salesforce, global leader. And it's a 30-year-old company, right? So imagine it took them 30 years. As opposed to a lot of e-commerce companies that are probably less than 5 or 10 years old.
Yeah.
B2B takes a long while to solve, to get deep, and to get to their market. I think we're getting there, and that's not the milestone. That's just one of the stations in the journey. And the goal is to get to 1 million SMEs. The goal is to get to 5 million, 10 million SMEs, get them on board and get them the fruits of global connectivity.
Let's talk about your personal journey. That we all know how it all started and how you landed in Singapore and spent nights at the airport. Parents, of course, at that time weren't very keen on you turning out to be an entrepreneur. They wanted you to be a government job. What kept you going is all I want to know.
When I look at entrepreneurs, when I look at myself, I didn't start this business to be rich or something like that. I mean, that happens on its own. But you're building a business, you're building something that you have conviction in, and then you spend a lot of time doing that, and you get a lot of chances to drop out and fail and not do it, but you stick to it, and eventually success happens.
All right, now before I let you go, there have been talks about Deskera getting listed. Is there an IPO on the cards, and how soon?
The journey of an entrepreneur starts with himself and then ends, or rather, there's a nice milestone where they celebrate this journey with a lot of other people, investors, employees alike. And I think that's my goal as well.
Okay.
There are a few capital markets that we've been talking to. And at some point, that's something that excites me personally. What I have learned in the past few years is that you need a lot of scale to get there. So if you look at New York, we have some amazing companies getting listed this year.
Yeah.
And I hope to build more scale in my business and then go to the public markets.
So next 3 years, for sure?
I think that's a very achievable goal.
All right, Shashank, many thanks for joining us, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you too.
Celebrating 17 years of Young Turks.